Well, hello there. My name is sometimes Heather and I play Elder Scrolls Online. Last time, I showed you a few pretty waterfalls, and today, we shall take a look at someone familiar. A while back, we dug up Auroran Thunder from Depths of Malatar, and during that grind, I also picked up the Scavenging Maw set. It sounded like it could be a lot of fun, so I slapped it on my Nightblade, the mad woman, and ran into all sorts of trouble. So, Senilia is my Dark Elf Nightblade. I have all of my attribute points on stamina, and have her walking under the Lover boon to maximize physical and spell penetration. I am a stage 4 vampire, and actually used an ability from the vampire skill line this time. Let's start with champion points again. I have a familiar setup, and it seems I rarely stray from it. In Warfare, my active stars are Master at Arms, Thaumaturge, Wrathful Strikes, and Untamed Aggression. In Fitness, I have gone with Bloody Renewal, Siphoning Spells, Rejuvenation, and Boundless Vitality. In Craft, I have Master Gatherer, Treasure Hunter, Homemaker, and Plentiful Harvest. Do choose the craft stars that make playing fun for you. I have armed Senilia with 2 sets of daggers. One set is poisoned, one enchanted with the poisoned weapon enchantment. Let's start with the latter set, our backup weapons. First, I have Degeneration. This deals a set amount of magic damage to a single enemy, and also grants Senilia Major Brutality and Sorcery, which boost weapon and spell damage. This is a Mage's Guild ability, and to make most of it, you should probably get all passives from Mage's Guild skill line. Next, we have Siphoning Attacks, which I never use. This converts a small amount of health to stamina and magicka. This can come in handy if sustain is an issue, but that is not the reason for its presence here. When slotted on either bar, all damage you deal will heal you for a bit. This is a fun way to keep a vampire's health up. I have given Senilia Deadly Cloak. This envelops her in a shroud of razor blades that spin around her, protecting her from incoming damage and pulsating with outgoing damage. This is a fun skill, but regretfully short in duration. Moving on, we have a Scribed ability, 1 of 2. I wanted an ability that stuns enemy to make the most out of Nightblade passives, so I made Dazing Trample. This summons your mount to charge at enemies to deal both instant and overtime physical damage, stun them, and apply minor vulnerability that increases damage taken. Casting this takes a bit of time, so maybe open with Trample. Last, we have Ambush. This allows Senilia to leap at enemies to deal a set amount of physical damage and to inflict them with minor vulnerability that increases damage taken. This also grants minor Berserk and Empower, which boost damage done for a short while. I think Ambush benefits from vampire passives, so do be certain to get those. Speaking of passives, I would recommend getting everything from Assassination, Siphoning, Dual Wield, Medium Armor, Vampire, and Racial skill lines. Let's move on to our main weapons, a poison set of swords. I have a basic ground store poison equipped. These drop in huge amounts from various sources, and I am literally drowning in them. The Alchemist skill allows you to craft far better poisons, so do take a look at your crafting stations. First, we have Arterial Burst from Vampire skill line. This allows Senilia to bonk an enemy to deal a set amount of magic damage and to apply the hemorrhaging status effect. Arterial Burst deals more damage as your health drops, and below 50% health it will always be a critical strike. Intentionally dropping a bit of health might be smart here. Then we have our second Scribed ability, Venomous Knife. I needed an ability that can deal critical poison damage. Those can be found in quite a few class skills, but only under one weapon. I didn't want to use a bow, so I went a scribing. Turned out to work pretty well actually. So our venomous knife allows Senilia to toss a boomerang-like knife to deal physical damage and poison damage both instantly and over time. This also grants us minor force, which boosts critical damage done. Next, we have our second spammer, Bloodgraze. This is actually a really bad spammer because it has a cooldown. I should have made a better choice. So Bloodgraze allows Senilia to slice her enemies to deal both instant and overtime bleed damage. Every time this hurts enemies, Senilia heals for a bit. This is a highly immersive ability, it's a shame it has such a long cooldown. Then, Relentless Focus. This is a bit of a strange ability which makes it so much fun. While slotted, light and heavy attacks create a stack of Relentless Focus. Once stacks are full, the ability turns bright on your weapon bar. Activating it will cause a spectral arrow to be shot at an enemy. Said arrow deals a set amount of disease damage and heals you for 33% of the damage done. So much fun! Last, we have our way of staying alive. Reaper's Mark applies Major Breach to an enemy, thus reducing their physical and spell resistance. When the marked enemy dies, Senilia heals to full health and gains Major Berserk, which increases damage done. This is another super fun ability from the Nightblade class, and I use this with both of my Banblades. Our ultimate is the Swarming Cyan, but Deathstroke and Soul Shred could both work here. Let's move on to gear then, the aspect that makes me kinda anxious today. I didn't feel strongly about any monster set, so I let Senilia keep her Zaan set. The helm drops when you slay the last boss in Scalecaller Peak in Veteran. Shoulders can be purchased from undaunted vendors. Zaan adds to critical chance. With both pieces on, dealing critical damage has a chance to tether you to an enemy with fire. When other enemies touch the tether, they get burnt. This is a fun and flashy effect, but Spawn of Mephala might be more immersive. For our first 5-piece set, I chose Legacy of Koth. This is a craftable set from the Reach, and I have this covering all weapon and jewelry slots. I made main weapons with the Nirnhold trait and jewelry with Bloodthirsty. Legacy of Koth adds to critical chance, weapon and spell damage, and offensive penetration. With a full set on, enemies affected by your alchemical poisons take disease damage while the poison works. I thought this might be a fun way to boost the effects of poisons and thus immersion. And last, Scavenging Maw. As mentioned, this set drops from Depths of Malatar, a group dungeon which is a part of the Wrathstone DLC. Scavenging Maw adds to critical chance and weapon and spell damage. With a full set on, dealing critical poison damage summons a hunger to attack enemies. Said hunger deals a set amount of poison damage and also inflicts enemies with minor vulnerability. Getting this set to trigger was a bit of a pain, but Venomous Knife seems to take care of that nicely. I really wanted my Venomblade to work. In my mind, she was fast and sneaky and dripping with venom, but in reality, she is so slow I actually avoid playing with her. I kinda like Scavenging Maw and Koth, but my monster set doesn't fit in at all. I find changing weapons before and during combat a right pain, and would like to find a proper balance between curses and assault. Perhaps, would it be silly to give Senilia the Oaken Soul and strip her of both a weapon set and a full monster set? Maybe I'll try that and show you the results next week. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you later.